Hello, boys and girls. Today your TEK is going to be covering several, but we're going to hit 4.4D and we're going to put those multiplying skills and strategies into word problems. And so along with that, we're going to hit lots of processing TEKs, which is basically problem solving and doing those skills that we have just been learning with our multiplication. So I found a problem that we're going to break down and use our problem solving strategies on. This problem says, Prescott Valley, Arizona reported a total of 29 mourning doves in the Great Backyard Bird Count. Mesa, Arizona reported 20 times as many mourning doves as Prescott Valley. If Chandler reported a total of 760 mourning doves, how many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than in Mesa? Pause the video, read it to yourself, think about it, or rewind it and let me read it to you again. Welcome back. That was a lot of information. I wanted you to be able to have time to think about it, because after you read the question, the next thing you need to do is see, what does it want us to find out? What is really the question asking us? Well, I can always look at the bottom or where our question mark is, because obviously that's our question. But it says, if Chandler reported a total of 760 mourning doves, how many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than in Mesa? So we're looking for how many more doves were seen in Chandler than in Mesa. So that's what you want to write. And the best of your own, you write it in your own words. How many more doves seen in Chandler than in Mesa? And the whole point of doing this is really we got to think about what that question is asking us. Okay? Hopefully we can see everything in there. What is this question really asking us? And that's really all that we need to answer. So if I can figure out just what I need to answer that question, then I'm going to answer this question and break a lot of that information down. So the first thing you're going to do is, what is the question asking you to find? Okay. Now, because of the way my smartboard is with the writing, I'm going to have to erase this. I am sorry. But if you need to pause the video and get that copied onto your paper, then you can go ahead and do that. Or if you're watching this video, you put it in your own words when you redo it with us, and you can download it, or you can do it on the Kami version if you are at home. Okay, so now I have to see the problem to be able to do this one too. What information am I given? So I look at what the question was asking me. How many more? Oh, good. I can see how many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than in Mesa. That's what I'm really looking for. So what information am I given to answer that? Well, I've got to think, what do I need to know to find out how many more birds or doves were seen in Chandler than in Mesa? So I automatically know that I've got to be thinking, I'm looking for something about the birds in Chandler and the birds in Mesa. So let me come up in here into this question here, and I can see that it is telling me something specific about Chandler. Chandler reported a total of 760 mourning doves. So I know that Chandler, so that's something I'm going to write down, because that's going to help me. Reported 760 doves. Just to shorten that up. But that's really not enough to answer the question on how many more were in Chandler than in Mesa. So I had to figure out something about Mesa. Well, I see the word Mesa, Arizona here, and they reported 20 times ooh, I see that time, so I'm going to put a time sign in front. 20 times as many mourning doves as what? Oh my goodness, Prescott Valley. So I know that I know information about Mesa, but it's not giving me all of it. What I know about the Mesa is that it's giving me that it's 20 times Prescott Valley. So now, ooh, that's what I get for trying to write these. Prescott Valley. So now, that's really not enough. So I now have to know, because I know something about Chandler, but to find out how many more Chandler has than Mesa, I have to know how much Mesa has, and really all I know is it's 20 times more than Prescott. So now I have to know information about Prescott. So come back up in here, and I see Prescott Valley's written. They had 29 doves. So I know Prescott reported 29 doves. Okay. Now, what is the question asking me? What am I able to, what do I need to find? Now, what information is given to me to help me answer that? So I've kind of pulled out the information that's going to help me answer. Okay, I know what Chandler, how many doves they've seen. I know that Mesa is 20 times Prescott, so I had to know that Prescott had 29 doves. Okay? Okay, so now your next step, and I'm just going to pull this up. I know it looks like a mess. I am so sorry. But my next step right here is then to make a strategy with what it is that I know. Well, I know that I can maybe solve simpler problems here. I know what Chandler's doing. Okay, so you're going to make a plan and you're going to make a strategy. So my plan would be, maybe I could probably find and work simpler problems using this. I may need to be multiplying. Is my number going to be going up? Is my number going to be going down? These are things that you could be asking yourself to build. Do I need to draw a picture? Sometimes pictures help out a lot. Later on, we'll be working on what we call strip diagrams, which is just a fancy picture, and they kind of have one shown over here. But that's basically, do I need to draw a picture to help me figure out how to solve this problem? What do I need to do? Well, I would first find out, to devise a plan, I would probably need to find out how much Mesa had seen first. Okay, because that would give me the information. Then I could use what I knew about Chandler. So then over here on this side, we're going to actually solve this problem. So we know, I'm going to pull it down just a little bit because I erased all that information and I needed to see 29. I needed to see the numbers. Okay, 760. So I know that to solve this, I'm going to find out, and pause this video at any time to write anything down or to slow this down, because that's what we will be doing in the classroom. We'll slow it down. We'll write down these parts in these sections. And so stop it, pause it, do what you need to do. I know in Chandler, that there's 760 seen total seen. Okay? I also need to know Mesa because I want to know how many more. And we know that Mesa is 20 times Prescott Valley. And we know Prescott Valley had, oops, I've got to look. I think I said 29. Yes. So Prescott Valley had seen 29. So, and this is 20 times Prescott, I'm going to just shorten that up, Valley. So what my first plan is maybe to do this smaller problem. Find out how much Mesa has. Well, I know that Prescott Valley is 29, so then I'm going to rewrite that problem. I'm going to find out what Mesa has, and that would be 20 times, because it did say times, it said bigger, it's going to go up, 29. Wow, here's a good problem for us because we've been multiplying by tens already. And we also know how 2 by 2, but this has a 0 on it. So I could actually take 2 times 29, which is a smaller problem. So I'm going to take 29 times 2. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And I know when I multiply these two, I get 58. But I have that 0, so I bring that 0 over. So now they've drawn this picture, and they've actually given us this little bit of help. But you draw this picture, and we said, we know that there was 769 doves total. So I make a big strip, and that big strip represents one whole thing. And I know that some, that in Mesa, that they'd seen doves, 580 doves in Mesa. We just figured that out and where that came from. Now, I love this because I know you're taught this in 3rd grade. The question is how many more mourning doves were reported in Chandler than in Mesa? Well, we know how many more were here than in here. You know the chant. Say it with me. How many more? How many less? Find the difference, subtract. We see those words, how many more or how many less, we're going to subtract. So to get this answer right here, we were going to take 760 and subtract 580. And when we subtract, okay, 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, can we take 8 from 6? No. Go next door, get 10 more. That makes this a 6. That changes that to 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. And 6 minus 5 is 1. Okay, so I got an answer of how many more birds were in Prescott than in Mesa, and it would be 180 more doves, those mourning doves. Okay. So, now, let's go ahead and move on to the next question because I really like it. It says, our answer was 180. And it says, is our answer reasonable? Well, if we say how many more or how many less, we know that we are subtracting. And we're trying to find that difference in between. But I've got to see, is this reasonable amount? Well, if the total is 760, if I rounded that to the hundredths place, okay, that's between 700 and 800, okay, then this tells us it's going to round to 800. So I'm going to be checking this because I'm pretty sure I feel that it's reasonable that if I estimate Chandler's to 800, so 760 rounds to 800, and the mourning birds we found in Mesa was 580, so I'm going to round 580 to the hundredths place. Circle, we make our tree. This is between 500 and 600. The 8 tells us 1, 2, 3, 4, go back where we were before, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, move on down the number line. It's an 8, so we're going to move down. So we know that Mesa rounds to 600. Now, you can almost do this in your head. 800 minus 600 is about what? Is obviously what? You got it. 200. And so 200 is that close to 180? I feel that it is, and that's why, and it sure is, because if I rounded that in the hundreds place, it would round to 200. And this is why I feel like that's a very reasonable answer. Okay? Now, you're going to be getting a worksheet pretty soon, and it's going to have lots of problem solving. It's going to be multi-step. But I want you to follow these steps, and to help you out, we have given you the things that you need to be asking yourself. And so I wanted to pull it up here. Let's see if I can get to my desktop. Oops, I just keep on closing this out is what I want to do. Oh, there we go. And we're going to open this up. And here, and I know Mrs. Fuller's given you a copy of this, and I've given my friends a copy of this in the classroom, and you use this because you're going to need it. The first thing we do is we read the question. Then we ask ourselves, what is the question asking you to answer? And we write that in our own words. We really have to know what those questions are asking. Then, what information is going to help us answer that question? That's after that you devise your plan. You say, do I need to draw a picture to understand what it's asking me? Okay. Do I need to start cubes because I don't know where to start? Well, if you don't know where to start, cubes will be able to help you here. Circle those key numbers, underline the question, box in, this kind of got off, box in important words, eliminate unnecessary information, solve and check. Does my answer make sense? How can I double check? Okay. And we will be going through these for every problem-solving problem that we do. And I want you to be using them as well as at your homework at home. So, go to your next page, and that's what we're going to get started doing. Come back anytime to this video and rewatch it for any help that you need on problem solving.